Ornella, I'm going to have you start the stream because I feel like I'm singing the national anthem at a baseball stadium right now because I have too many tabs open and I hear 3 different versions of myself talking right now. So BRB. And I will be right back.
Absolutely. Hey, y'all. We're so excited to have you here. Beep Boop 7. Can you believe that we've had 7 episodes of Beep Boop? Because I can't. While Chloe is fixing her spaceship of a computer, I can go back and refresh on what we did last week and kind of what we're going to do today. So, well, actually, I should start with some good news and some bad news. So the good news is that we are back with episode 7. We took a little break last week commemorating Chloe's birthday. So we had to, it's a national holiday. Everyone takes off. But we're back this week and we'll be here next week as well. For those of us coming back and joining us, the bad news is that
I'm back.
The good news is that Chloe's back. I was starting off with good news, bad news.
Okay.
But the bad news is that while Chloe and I are back from vacation, Franklin is not.
Yes, that is true. I know we're going to lose so many viewers right now because we know that's the main reason that you tune into Beep Boop is for the Franklin content. But yeah, where is Franklin today?
He is still at summer camp, living his best life with his sitters who are absolutely obsessed with him. So no need to worry about him. He's in a really good place. But I wanted to be fair, like if you're here for Franklin, log off now because he's not going to be here. And that's just how it is. And
we have
viewers are outraged.
Outraged, as we can see. Actually, wait. I need to bring up this tweet that Mike. Oh my goodness, Mike made some fan art for the show, y'all.
Oh my god, this had me laughing so hard. We have to give Mike a shout out because Mike has been here every single week. And a few weeks ago, so last episode, we were working on a business idea called Frank's Salami Company.
Yes.
And Mike took it upon himself to create some truly fabulous art for the company. So we just need to share.
So we were off last week. We want to just give a shout out to all of our regular BBs out there. Thank you for giving us a little vacation last week. We were able to catch up on all the important Beep Boop work we had to do. But when I tell you, when I saw this image, I audibly gasped in a positive way. Like our baby's first fan art for Franklin, I want to say, or Franklin is on one of your shirts, technically, as an embroidery, but like this is our first fan art for the show, and we got to say, keep the fan art coming, y'all, because we live for it.
Franklin, I'm framing this, putting it in my house, everything, the whole 9 yards. Like, also I'll post a little video of him eating his morning salami one of these days, but there's just truly nothing he loves more. And to have him like in this way commemorated with his favorite thing, like truly there's nothing better. So thank you, Mike.
I love the transparent salamis in the background. Like truly the amount of thought that went into this is beautiful. I also love that you used the updated Teams background of the new, which I have on my other screen. I have another clippy one on there, but thank you, Mike. This was beautiful. Such a heartwarming piece of art to see. Y'all, I need to recap what just happened to me. So typically, when Ornella and I go live for Beep Boop every Tuesday, friendly plug, at 4 p.m. Pacific time, we have our song, which, can I just say, our song is quite a banger. Our song plays, and I have like 2 to 3 minutes to do a couple of things behind the scenes, right? Like I have time to update my Twitch credentials. I have time to tweet something out, which I need to do here in a second. But all of a sudden, the music starts playing, which is usually a joyous occasion for me. I'm like, oh, yes, this song is so great. And I start grooving, and Ornella and I are in the chat. I must have looked so frazzled in the video that Ornella could see because suddenly I start hearing the song in the round, like simultaneously playing about 5 times. And I'm thinking, oh no, I have a tab open of YouTube or Twitch or something open right now that's playing this. And when I tell you, y'all, confession, I must have had like 100 tabs open. Like there was no way that I could have identified this tab. And I had to make a split decision in the moment. I was like, do I power through? And I'm just like, oh, say, can you see? Because if you've ever sang in a stadium before, like you can hear the echo of your own voice. And it's, fun fact, very difficult to sing the national anthem in a large auditorium. But I was like, there's no way I can do this stream. So what you saw was me panicking and having to declare bankruptcy on all. This is how much I love Beep Boop. I declare bankruptcy on my tabs for all of you BBs out there.
We do it every week too.
I
like Kelly and I have like a pregame checklist, and literally one of the items is to close all of our tabs. Because
I will never forget now. So please pardon me. We may need to vamp a little bit at the top. I was so ready to. I had like my screen set up of like what we were going to present. So it's going to take me a minute just to get everything set up on the back end. But we got a lot to catch up on anyway. So if I'm typing in these first couple minutes, I forgot to close all my tabs. Like our song is good, but it's not good playing 5 or 6 times at once at different intervals. I gotta say, wouldn't recommend. But Ornella, how was your last week? We missed all our BBs.
We did miss our BBs. Well, I was on vacation, so truly no complaints.
Nice. Do you have a good vacation?
I did. Just did some camping.
Nice.
We were in Jackson Hole in Wyoming, that area, and it was really lovely. I bought a cowboy hat on the first day and proceeded to not take it off for the rest of the trip. So, I was in costume.
I love that for you. Wait, are we talking like straw? Are we talking like a leather? Like I'm trying to envision this hat.
Like a nice Pendleton felt, fitted, like a tasteful hat,
Just a sensible travel hat.
Yeah,
I love that.
So honestly, no complaints. It was quite lovely and happy to be back in the city.
Great. I'm so happy that you're back. And soon we'll get Franklin back because, as we mentioned,
he's back tomorrow. So don't worry, he'll be here next week.
Okay, good. Let's see, what did I do? It was my birthday on Monday. It was great. I worked because I procrastinated and I forgot to take it off. But I actually had a really good birthday over the weekend. It's weird having a Monday birthday. You know what I mean? Like you're kind of like, oh, what do I do? Especially during a global panini. Hi, Leticia. Welcome to the stream. I'm so excited to have you here. But yeah, I went kayaking for the first time. We live in a neighborhood that has a lovely view of the water, and through all of the pandemic, I've just been like watching people like stand up paddleboard and kayak, and I was like, maybe someday I'll be brave enough to do that.
It was your time to shine.
It was so fun, y'all. Like, you ever do? Well, I guess like we all kind of experience this with coding, right? But do you ever have like a thing or like a project that you want to do and you like put it off for a long time because you're like, this is going to be hard, and I don't know. This was truly one of those things where I did it, and I immediately, as I was doing it, was like scheduling in my head when to do it again. I was like, why did it take me so long to do this? So your girl's a kayaker now.
Professional.
Oh, also I should mention, if you hear any crazy noises, don't worry. As you can see, I am in a different part of my home today. We're doing some construction in our house, so don't worry, no one's trying to break into my home or anything like that. But yeah, what did I do last week? Oh, y'all, let me share a little linky poo here. Today's a really exciting day because we just launched a bunch of Imagine Cup content. If you're not aware of what the Imagine Cup is, it's this really, really cool competition every year. I think we're in the 10th year, 20th year,
20th. It's the
20th year.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, so wild. And I have been working hard on this training content for how to pitch your project and also how to develop content ideas. And this content honestly could be used, beyond the Imagine Cup. You can use it for hackathons. If you have a presentation that you're giving with a team for a project, it can be used. And let me get the short link. I think it's aka.ms/Imagine Cup IC training content. Let me grab that.
I watched it all, so can confirm. Good stuff.
I will say, watch it just for my really bad dad jokes. Gotta say, here, I'll share my screen so I can share it with the world real quick here. There we go. So it's this whole repo here. I'm gonna drop the link for y'all. Oops. There we go. But yeah, this just went live at 9 a.m. this morning. So just, a couple hours ago. And it has a bunch of amazing contributors. Pablo's in here, myself, Jalen, our good pal, Sarah Guthels, who made our first season Learn content. But definitely check these out. You can see me make really bad puns about baseball. If you really enjoyed my basketball puns from our first season of Beep Boop, highly recommend my baseball puns. I also make a really bad PowerPoint joke in this third one. So check that out.
We love to see it.
We love to see a good pun and salami. I think you should make this your desktop background.
I know, I really should. Chloe, we've got a very important question in the chat.
Oh yeah? What's up?
For the newbies, what's Beep Boop?
Great question. So Beep Boop is a weekly stream that myself and Ornella do, and it's a super cozy, fun, chill environment to learn artificial intelligence and machine learning for free. Our first season, which was in the month of August. I was like, what comes before September?
Yeah.
We're now on episode 7. This is Beep Boop 7. Our first season, we focused a bunch on the Space Jam 2 New Legacy content that had just come out. And we learned a whole bunch about just the deeply technical side of AI and ML. And data science,
the whole 9 yards. Yeah.
We learned about basketball. You can check all of that out at aka.ms/beepboop-replay. But yeah, this season is all about low code, no code, because we had a lot of folks who tuned in last time and wanted a little bit more of a beginner basic breakdown. So that's what today is going to be. Today is going to be all about chatbots, which I'm super excited about. I love chatbots, y'all. I'm a bot. I added bot queen, I think, to my Twitter bio recently, and I'm definitely going to talk about my bots at the start of this stream for sure. But yeah, did I miss anything, Ornella? I feel like, what else do we do on this stream? What is Beep Boop? Explain Beep Boop. Give me your elevator pitch of Beep Boop, Ornella.
I think you pretty much covered it. I would add that for people who are new, we have a mascot who you may have seen in the Salami commercial.
Our Salami commercial. Oh, speaking of famous people, Ornella, I have a personal device that I added VS Code to, and who do I spy as I add VS Code to my computer but a celeb? You.
Franklin?
If y'all haven't put VS Code on your machines, you will see a starring guest appearance from Ornella, who created much of the Getting Started content.
So I can't even defend myself anymore. If you've watched the show before, you know that I had no part in this. That one day I woke up and realized that when you downloaded it, it was just my face and it's news to me. So I hope you like it.
You ever read Us magazine? It's like stars. They're just like us. That's Ornella. The stars come out to Beep Boop. I'm just making us a little short link here. But anything else we should cover before we dive into this Learn module? Let's see. What else happened last week?
So last week, Chloe gave me a rundown of an introduction to the Power Platform. So if you've never heard of the Power Platform, I'd really suggest doing Beep Boop 6 alongside us and I just wrote the blog post for that, so I'll just put the link in the chat.
Yes.
But she gives a really good introduction. We go through a Learn module together, and it's like explains all the different parts of the Power Platform, and then you can kind of see which ones we'll be focusing on this season. So virtual agents is one of them, and that's what we're going to use to make chatbots. But yeah, on the whole, Power Platform is kind of this low code, no code set of capabilities. So you can make apps, you can make automated flows with like triggers and actions. You can make dashboards of your data. You can make virtual agents, so chatbots and other kinds of bots. I feel like I'm missing one. I don't know. I did not rehearse this.
This is all
I would
fly.
have been shocked if I could pull them all out. But anyways, yeah, highly recommend checking that one out if you want a little intro to the Power Platform. And this is all kind of on the path to getting certified in in Power Platform fundamentals. So if that's something you've been striving for in your career or in your personal life, we're hoping to give you some of the tools to do that in this season.
Yeah, I think you covered it. Ooh, I got my short link. Y'all, I'm still like, my heart is still racing from like the panic that I felt from hearing my own voice and the Beep Boop theme song. Like, it was like that, like it was like being in a room with a bunch of my own clones. I was like, too much. Cool. Well, I'm super stoked for the stream today because, as I mentioned before, I love bots. I'm a bot queen. And I thought maybe before we kind of dive into the module, which this is one of the more fun Learn module demos that I've done, and I actually played a little bit earlier today. And so shout out to Ornella's friends who are in a Beep Boop group chat, like Baby's First Fan Art, Baby's First fan group chat. Shout out to all the BBs out there. So I love SmarterChild. If you haven't gone to my here, I'll just bring it up on the screen here to show it off. Let me get my life together here. Watch this just be like, oh, it is here. This is just another opportunity to share Frank's image that I'm obsessed with. Wait, I already got distracted. What were we talking about? We were talking. I just got so distracted by this art. SmarterChild. Okay, so if you know me, I have an obsession with the 90s. I'm actually starting a podcast soon with Dr. Guthels, who made our module for the last series. I recently updated my cover photo to the hamster dance because when I tell you my most played track on Spotify is the hamster dance song, partially because I think it's a banger, partially because...
Sorry, what?
Because first of all, I had the CD, like in the 90s, early 2000s, there was this remix CD. Let's see if I can find you a picture. It had a iridescent, also Google thinks that I'm always just looking up chicken parm recipes. Fun fact about me. Hamster Dance CD. It had a holographic cover. Let's see if someone actually has a picture of like and it had all of these remixes of hamster songs. These are the real titles. Jingle Bells, Duck the Halls, Even Hamsters Fall in Love, Thank God I'm a Country Boy. Like, just a very eclectic. This is probably one of my first albums I ever owned as a kid, so a lot of nostalgia behind it. So I'm obsessed with the 90s. And when Ornella and her group chat mentioned SmarterChild, when she said we're going to talk about bots today, I was like, wait a second. This is a really, really great idea for the demo bot that I'm going to build today. So our bot that we will be building is going to be SmarterTeen, which is the older sibling of SmarterChild. Wow. But I wanted to give y'all a quick little, and I won't go into too much detail because I actually have like a whole blog post or blog series, I should say, worth of my previous Reactor series called Got Bots, where I showcase all of my bots that I've made. But I love bots. I love to make bots. I made a bunch of bots with our pal PJ Metz, fan of the stream. Let's see, Brittany bot. Oh, so the first one that we built is Bot Shania, which is a Shania Twain bot. And this idea came to light because PJ, when he was first starting to learn how to code, said, would it be possible to build a Twitter bot that just tweeted, "Let's go, girls," at the start of every day? And I was like, not only can we do that, we can do that super quickly with logic apps. So that is how Shania was born. She also has a feature that we built afterwards that if you tweet at Shania bot and you use the phrase anything with impress, impressive, just if it has the word impressed in it, she will respond. You can go try this out right now. Drop a link to her in the chat. That don't impress me much. So anytime that you see something on the internet and you want to call it out and be like, what do you think of this? So I use it to troll people all the time. You can tag bot Shania and ask if she's impressed. And yeah, this is a tool here. This is me. This is PJ announcing that he just booked a talk. And I was so proud that I asked if our daughter Shania was impressed, and she's not.
Wait,
she never
Chloe,
is.
Are you the mastermind behind the weekend one?
No, oh my gosh. So that was actually the inspo for this. So if you're not familiar with this is I wish that my bot had as many followers. This has been featured in the LA Times. This is how I got interested in bots. I saw someone retweet this, which I don't have the sound on for this tab, but every Friday it tweets Daniel Craig on SNL going, "Ladies and gentlemen, the weekend." And the engagement on this Twitter bot is wild, right? Like every weekend. I mean, I always seek it out to retweet it. But this is what inspired Shania bot and eventually Mariah bot, Mechanical Carrie, sorry. So this is Mechanical Carrie. If you're not familiar with the "I don't know her" meme, essentially Mariah Carey refuses to acknowledge the fact that she knows who Jennifer Lopez is, and there's just videos of her going, "I don't know her," and it's become a meme. And this is a bot that we created that if you want Mariah bot to comment on someone's post and say, "I don't know her," you just use a specific set of emojis and she will reply. So here's an example of her in action. Let me find a good example. Oh, she also tweets out, "Always be my baby." I think this is something that PJ added recently. This is me dragging Texas. And then someone said that Texas hates me. And I said, "Do you want to take this one, Mechanical Carrie?" And I used this set of emojis and she responded, "I don't know her." So you can use this bot to respond to trolls if you want. But due to this lovely bot that we did, we also made Brittany bot, which is another logic app. And again, I will, I think it's Brittany bot. Also glad to see Britney Spears back on social media. So exciting. Here's Brittany bot. This is a very simple bot made with the Logic app that I actually just made on the fly on a stream that just tweets, "It's Brittany bots," every day at the same time. And if you want to learn more about these bots and how to build them, I will drop a link in the chat shortly here. But really, like when you think about these bots, Ornella, like they require, with the exception of Brittany bot, like our Mechanical Carrie bot, I feel like, oh, we also have Badiana Grande. How can I forget? I need to like tweet the entire family. Oh, and Bon Jovi bot. How could I? Oh my gosh, my children. All my children. God. This is my favorite bot that I ever built. Here, I'm going to drop links to all these bots in the chat so people can follow them. Yeah, Luke, we're going to be going through making chatbots today. So I will also drop a link to the... Yeah, so Leon, you're reading our mind. That's pretty much what we're going to be doing today. Here's... Sorry, let me get my links in order here. So here's Bon Jovi bot. If you want to follow Bon Jovi bot, they're all following each other, so you can just find them in there. This tweets every day at 12:30 Pacific Standard Time because that's the half day mark for me. Well, we're half day there, and people DM me all the time, and they're like, "Chloe, just so you know, there's a typo in your bot," and I'm like, "No, there's not. It's signifying the half day. It's not supposed to be halfway there."
That.
And then, of course, last but not least, I think there's one more that I'm probably missing. And these are all bots that myself and PJ Badiana, let's see, Badiana Grande is a thank you next bot. So if you want her to reply, thank you next to using a specific set of emojis, she'll do that. So you have to do the side-eye emoji and the nail polish emoji, and she'll respond. But here's the thing. If you're building one of these bots or a chat bot, there's a lot of back-end work that goes into this. Like we initially built all these with logic apps, and it's really lightweight and it's really easy to do. But when we get into the logistics of these reply things, we have to get like really specific with the APIs and everything like that. And what we're going to be covering today, no API necessary. Just like, well, we're not going to be making Twitter bots. We're going to be making chat bots, which are also conversational in a sense. But if you have more interest in bots, I will drop a link to that previous series. But today we're going to be doing a chat bot, which is going to be a little bit similar. Oh, sorry. One last thing here. Let me go to Dev 2. Going to Dev 2. If you check out the ScottBot series, we did a chat bot using Q&A Maker on this episode here, which is GotBots 4. And we made a Clippy bot. So we did a conversational bot that you could basically, all we did was we had an FAQ page that had questions and answers. And it was like, are you alive? Like, who are your friends? Like, do you live in a Word document? Like, I think we put something like 10 different questions that we would ask Clippy. And then we uploaded that PDF. I think it was just a PDF. We just like made it in Word and then downloaded it. And then we instantly created a chat bot. Like it was kind of witchcraft, I have to say. Like if you just want like a bot out the door, logic apps are definitely the way to go using Q&A Maker. But today, we're going to be able to get a lot more specific with it, which I'm really, really excited about. So I'm going to set up my screen here so we can get started on this module. But what is your experience with chatbots?
I'm just sharing the link to folks who want to follow along.
Oh, yes. Beep boop link 7.
I mean, SmarterChild really, like, I remember logging on to AIM, and maybe if none of my friends were on, or like I was waiting for my crush to sign on or something, I would just open up a little window to SmarterChild and type some things and get dopamine hits, you know?
Yeah.
The OG.
I spent a lot of time on AOL Instant Messenger as well. It is probably my only social outlet that I had as a teen, to be honest.
What was your first screen name?
Oh my gosh, I remember all of them. So first I was Pika 13 because I was in a lot of Pokemon chat rooms. Yes, SmarterChild was there for us all. I have to agree. I'm just dropping a link in there right now. If you guys want to check out that video later, that is the GotBots episode with the Clippy chatbot. I was Pika 13, then I was Easy, the number 2 Love with like multiple O's, which was a very strange username for a child, but it was referencing a Cole Porter song from Anything Goes because I was a theater nerd. And then I was, Blondie Chloe 89. I think that was my last one. What about yours?
My first one involves a nickname that I don't want anyone knowing. So
okay.
Skip that.
That's fair.
I remember a later one being like Jello Nello or something like that.
Very hip. I love that.
Like probably like my name followed my birthday, you know, some class.
I really love how like our era, like most of us who are like kind of in our 20s and 30s, like got our first email address as a teen. And I used to love when I would be doing theater and I wouldn't be BCC'd and I could see everyone's email and like someone still had their email from like being a teenager. It'd be like blondie girl, cutie, Hollywood, Broadway, 27. And I'd be like, I think it's time to update that email at AOL, at Yahoo. Um, but I think Smarter Child, like when I think back on like what my first interaction with bots was, it was Smarter Child. And I actually mention it in the Got Bot series as like, what my introduction to bots was. And I remember and like let me know if this is the same experience for y'all in the chat as well. I remember the first time I ever messaged Smarter Child, I was like, how is someone responding this fast? Like, mind you, I didn't have any knowledge of computer science at the time, but like I couldn't I tried to stump it all the time. I was like, how is this happening? Like, I don't understand what this is hitting to like give me the response back. It like truly felt like a magical bot. But like, did it totally blow your mind when you first used it or not?
Yeah, 100%. I think like 90% of my time typing stuff to SmarterChild was like trying to like get it in some way to like catch what they were doing or something.
Yes.
Like,
should we explain? I guess we probably have some folks in here who maybe don't know what SmarterChild is. Let me show a visual, if you will. Here we go. SmarterChild. I'll share my screen here in a sec. Hit us up in the chat if you even know what we're talking about. Like, are we the only people who spent extensive time with SmarterChild? I actually read an article about SmarterChild recently that was fascinating. Okay, so this is SmarterChild. If you've never seen the UI for AOL Instant Messenger, enjoy. But SmarterChild was this bot that you could just like message at any time, and you could ask it anything. Like, and it just had responses to literally like, who are you? Like, what we would consider in modern day bot standards, like very, very basic. But to us, like, it was the first time interacting with anything like this. So you could say, do you sleep? No, but I dream. I dream of a better world, a world where a man and machine can coexist in peace and happiness. So like this was
a very benevolent robot, like really
yes.
not like mean. Like you would try to like say mean things to it and it would be like peace and happiness.
But it was also using APIs because you could ask it like what movies were playing in your zip code. Like there was a lot of stuff that you could do with it. And this was like, nowadays we interact with so many chatbots on a day-to-day basis. And y'all have to understand this was groundbreaking stuff. Like truly I couldn't and I cannot believe that I now teach people how to make chatbots. Like that blows my mind as well. Cause I'm
Let's show the people how it's done.
Yes. Okay. So we're going to share this link up here at the tippy top. You can follow along at aka.ms/beepbooplinks7. This is the module we're going to be doing today. I just realized I didn't tweet. I'm going to tweet real quick and let people know that we are live. Let me open this. So this module that the beepbooplinks7 is going to take you here. This module is how to build a basic chatbot. And basically, this is just going to walk us through Power Virtual Agents. And y'all, I think this is my favorite way to build a bot. Like, literally did this module for the first time yesterday. I've built all kinds of bots and, like, truly can say, I know, like, technically we're paid to do this, but, like, this is my favorite way to build a bot now. So, shall we get started?
Let's do it.
Okay. Should I tweet? I haven't tweeted. I feel like I should tweet out to the people. My remix of the Beep Boop intro music deterred us. Here, vamp for a second or now while I tweet this out. Beep Boop 7.
I'm gonna read the thing. So I've never used, I think Power Virtual Agents is the only part of the Power Platform that I've never used. So I'm really excited.
Ooh, oh my gosh. I'm legitimately excited to show it to you because here, I'm going to say we're still live because it's very, very, very friendly UI. Like did all the onboarding stuff for it, but truly didn't need to. We're still live. There we go. Beep boop. Perfect. We did it. We did it, Pam. So yeah, let's do it. Let's do this thing. Clippy's helping us here. So we're going to create a bot. We're going to add topics to our bot, and we're going to test it and deploy it, and then analyze the performance. Which, if you've never built a bot before, being able to analyze, especially if it's a conversational chatbot, being able to analyze what questions people are asking your bot is super, super important, because that way you know what questions to account for. So, like, for example, like let's say that you're building a chatbot for Ornella Rules with a Z, with 3Zs.com. And you want to have like a conversational chatbot, but you want to know what people are asking, right? Like you're like, what should I include answers wise for my chatbot? Because you can't just like think of every single question that everyone's going to ask. And this gets me thinking about how they must have built SmarterChild, right? So like, if you have a sort of log or record of what people are asking, then you can go back later and be like, oh, interesting. A lot of people are asking my chatbot for my resume. So I'm going to go back in there and like add, you know, an answer to that question. So to start out, we're going to go here to this lovely AKA link in the module, which will open up in a new tab. I am already logged in. I went in earlier, of course, and did this already. So this is just going to take me, you're going to see a slightly different page when you get started. But it's super simple, y'all. Like, I really don't even feel like I need to explain much of this. So I already started SmarterTeen, as you can see here. But you'll get this prompt like here on the left that'll say create a new bot. And literally all I did to create SmarterTeen, y'all, is I gave it a name, SmarterTeen. I selected the language, English, and then the environment here, which was just like the basic default US one. And then I clicked create, and literally within seconds, I had access to this lovely page. So I'll do a quick little walkthrough for y'all real quick. So when you come in here, and also I just need to share my favorite part of this, which the minute I saw this, I was like, the beep boopers are gonna love this. Look at this icon of the little robot in the top. So that's important because that's where all of our bots live here. You can come in here and you can like delete different bots that you have. You can add different bots in here. We can create a new bot if we want. And actually, I'll show you what I created and then we can go back and create a new one real quick. But I already created SmarterTeen in here. And this part of the module is just saying like you can create a new bot by clicking on this little robot. You can also delete your bot in here if you want to delete a chat bot. But it's super easy. And if I go to topics here, so this is what I was playing with earlier that I was giggling to myself because as I mentioned, Ornella had mentioned SmarterChild and I had this idea for SmarterTeen. So the first thing that I did is I created a trigger. And I put, so the first step is you name it, and I named this relation because I was like, what is a question that someone would ask SmarterTeen? And I was like, okay, someone's going to ask if there's any relation to SmarterChild. Like that's obviously going to be the first question out of the box, right? So I followed along with this module, which I'll show y'all real quick here. So like I said, you specify a name, a description. The friendly name and the description are optional. So the friendly name is going to be something it's external facing. So definitely don't name it something inappropriate or something you don't want shared externally. And the description is optional as well. That's just more for your own documentation purposes. But let's add a couple more in here. Like, what is another way to phrase this question, Ornella, of like, are you friends with SmarterChild or are you related? Like, is SmarterChild your dad? Oh, have you met? Yeah. So really what this is, and if you've joined us for any of our other Beep Boop streams, we've talked about like machine learning, right? That we have to train a model based on a set of data. So what we're doing by entering these trigger phrases, which is something that I really, really love, because think about a person who doesn't know much about AI and ML, right? Like they're not going to know how to code and design a whole backend and a training model and know how to use those different tools. But literally, we're creating the training data here. Like that's what those phrases are. So this is kind of extracting that process. So the more that we put in here, and they recommend like 5 to 10 diverse phrases in here. the more variety that you put in here, the more accurate your bot is going to be able to answer these things. So let's add like maybe one or two more. Like maybe is SmarterChild your dad? Hit me with some other ones in the chat. Hi, Brendan North. Welcome to the stream. We're beeping and booping. No Frank today, so if you leave prematurely, we understand. Hit me with another one, Ornella. What's another phrase?
Are you really
ever heard of, maybe?
That's a funny one. Okay, I like that.
So basically what this is going to do is train our bot to respond to phrases like this or similar to this, to respond a certain way. So the first thing you're going to do is save your topic. We haven't even put like where it is in sort of the layout of our bot. And again, y'all, like never done this before, like very first time doing it right out of the box. So I entered the trigger phrases. You can add up to 1,000 topics in a bot. So that could be really fun if you want to go in and make 1,000 different topics in there. That would be like a lot of trigger phrases. But then you design the conversation path, which this is my favorite part. Watch this. Da, 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 da. Okay, so this is where you basically just kind of design how you want your bot to respond. And this is going to be really fun because this gets created for us initially, right? Like it's all of our questions, our trigger phrases here. And then you have these nodes. So you can go in here and add a node, like anytime there's a plus sign here. And I'll walk through this with y'all real quick and we'll kind of follow along with the documentation. So the nodes are the coolest part because you can add a question, you can call an action, you can show a message, you can go to another topic, or you can end the conversation. So like the way to think about this is, let's say, so the ask a question one is an example that I did here. So I said, when someone asks a question like this, respond with the message. That's my younger sibling. So annoying. And then immediately follow up with a question of, do you have a younger sibling? So this is a question that we are asking to the chatter, right? And this was super easy. Like literally, you can go in here, you could put in, I don't know if I have a sibling, but I don't think that would really be one that we would have in here. But you literally just go in here and you can do multiple choice. They also have all of these different inputs. So
that's so fun.
Like truly, like there were so many different demos that I could have built for this. And I was telling Ornello about one earlier that I'll share in a sec. But you can do zip code. So like you could literally recreate SmarterChild and like do movie times. You can do weight, you can do temperature, speed, state, point of interest, like phone number, all of this different stuff, person name, money. I really like that there's a color one. Like you can just the whole spectrum of pre-built primary colors and hues extracted as a string. Like truly kind of the possibilities are pretty endless here on what you could do. Yeah. What did Brendan say? Oh, this sounds like learning a board game with these rules in a good way, all the different actions you can take. Yeah. So
like a decision tree or like any of those kinds of structures you may have learned. Super cool. I love that.
It's a choose your own adventure bot, like truly. So what I did right before this stream is a SmarterTeen was born, and we can actually test this out right now. So I went through here and I added a couple different responses. Why don't we, let's see, did it save? Oh, actually we can continue on what I was, I see what happened. I didn't save it and closed all of my tabs because I had too many tabs open. But basically what I did here is I said, we want to ask the question, do you have a younger sibling? Which has two different responses. It's yes and no. This just got created because I just created a third one. So I'll delete that node and scroll this over. So I'm saying, so the cool thing is you can add conditions, right? So here they're showing based on a branch, you can insert a condition, which is going to be exactly the same to a condition that you have in code, right? So you could make two different conditions. Like if someone says yes, ask them how old is the sibling. If someone says no, you could say end the conversation. You could ask a different question. So our like map of what we could have this chatbot do, like we said, 1,000 different triggers, right?
That's
Could
so
get
fun.
very vast. Like you could rebuild SmarterChild with this. But what I did earlier that didn't save that we can just add in now. So I put when someone responds yes, ask a question. And then based on this response, so let's do a condition. Let's do this. Let's do regardless of the age that they ask, we'll say, what should we respond if someone responds with the age? Be like, younger siblings are so annoying, or like what should
Wait,
it say?
it's pretty funny because, okay, so I think this is interesting. It saves the response that they give
Mm-hmm.
as a variable. So then you could say, like, I remember when I was var1.
Yeah. Let's do that. So let's do I remember when I was, and I think we would just use, how would we reference
I
this
think
within
so.
here?
So go down, click that
Down.
message, and see how it
Oh,
has like
this
a little,
thing.
yeah. Try that. Yeah,
Yes. Was
var1.
this here? And then
That's
I'll do
pretty
like,
cool.
that's, so it's like super out of the box. I like to add emojis to my bots. So excuse me while I remember when I was age, what should we say? So annoying. I'm trying to like make it like a teen. I don't know. We can change it later. So if I save this, and then let's do a response for no. So if someone says no, you can be like, lucky.
Lucky you.
Lucky. And then maybe after this, we say, and then after we send that message, let's do, what should we do? Should we call an action? Should we, let's do
End the conversation.
end convo.
Bye.
Do you have any pets? So let's do any pets. And then we could even further this conversation, right? And be like, what's your pet's name? Like we have so many options here. So I'm going to do multiple choice. I'm going to say yes or no. And then we have that variable to use further. Like it just keeps like building and building and building. Super, super cool. So make sure you save, always save, and then we can test it. And the testing feature is pretty great. So I'm going to say, do you know SmarterChild? And remember, all that we did to like train this at this point, other than like the info that we put here and this kind of like diagram thing, were just those trigger phrases to kind of like train it. Let's see if this works this time. Okay, so now it's saying that's my younger sibling, so annoying. Do you have a younger sibling? And we can say yes. How old are they? 98. I remember when I was 98.
Oh my god, that's so cool.
And this is just like very quick. And when I tell you I set aside like 2 hours to go through this module, and it took me probably like 15 minutes the first time to just get up and running with it. Super, super cool out of the box. And I'm having way too much fun playing with it. But I was telling Ornella before this stream, wouldn't it be fun to build, because I was thinking of all of these different inputs. So like, for example, like we can do, what was it? As the options for like what to intake, we can do dates, we can do
so many things.
So I'm thinking like we could even do an astrology like chatbot that asks like, hey, what month were you born? What time? Like we could get really specific with like horoscopes, or let us know in the chat what you want to build with this, because my brain started just going like, oh my God, usually it takes me several hours to build a bot and now I can build a chatbot very quickly. Like, how can I do something really weird with this? But yeah, that's pretty much, I mean, we still have a little bit of this module to go through here, but isn't this kind of magic, y'all? Like, I'm kind of obsessed with it. And then we also have our analytics here, so we can like see our top triggering We're just currently in preview here, but we have all of this info now about our bot that we can check out and like see who's using our bot. Ooh, we have a question here. Can you save the answers to a database or spreadsheet? Yes.
I would bet it's integrated with Power BI too. You could make a cool dashboard if you wanted to.
Yeah. And there are, this is my first time accessing the summary info for it. So it's probably just like,
that's definitely from Power BI.
Yeah, taking a hot second to load here, but super, super easy. So like this comes with some already pre-formatted ones in here that are just like always on. So like an error message and things like that. This escalate one actually, this happened to me earlier because I didn't complete one of my nodes. So I got this response that was like, hey, like it looks like you haven't, like the owner of the spot hasn't completed the node, reach out at blank to like, so like all of this stuff is already kind of prepackaged in there, which is super cool. But that diagram is just of the relation, like that's just that one path, right? So very, very fun. You can end the conversation, of course. You can branch based on a condition. So like, let's say you, like, what if you had, like, a lot of websites require 18 and over or 21 and over. You could be like, oh, if you're not 21, go get your parents' permission, something like that. You can delete nodes, of course.
Or just for any of your questions, like you can always turn a question into a condition. So like if they did have a sibling, then, keep going.
And I also have to say, as someone who has attempted to build a bot from scratch, like something that I really appreciate about the existing services from Microsoft, not just because they give me a paycheck all the time, is that when you build a chatbot, there's all these like what ifs, right? Like what questions is my bot going to be asked? Or like you can't account for literally every answer. And that's what's really cool about this is there's already a bunch of pre-formatted responses built in, because like I've tried building a bot with like no help at all, just like built it in Python and JavaScript. And I kept running into this issue where I was just like, oh, if I don't use an API that helps me track my bot metrics, I'm not going to know like how to better, edit and work with my bot to like answer the questions that it needs. But how do I accommodate for someone coming to my website and being like, what is your sister's maiden name? I don't have a sister. You know what I mean? Like, just like, or what's your favorite Jolly Rancher flavor? Like, you can't account for those things. So you need to like, have a response to things it doesn't know the answer to, and then B, like you probably want to have like quirky fun responses to some of those common ones, which is a nice part about using a Microsoft tool is like if you've ever played with Q&A Maker, literally when you build a Q&A bot, it comes with like thousands of different responses for like, and some of them are really sad because people are really mean to bots. It's like, you're mean, you're ugly. It's like, well, that's not very nice. So I always think that's kind of like an interesting, if you ever.
I'm sorry to SmarterChild for all the times I said he was ugly.
And I love like one of the things I love about looking into the Q&A Maker, like pre-formatted. So like you can choose chit chat with Q&A Maker, which basically means what do you want your bot's personality to be? So there's like witty and, playful and all these different options. And I love that every single, regardless of what the like aesthetic is of the bot, they have to account for messages like, are you real? Do you have a brain? Like, and then respond in a cadence that matches the bot. Like, people send some weird things to bots, y'all. So yeah, then you can track through the topics conversation path, which is what we just did. And really, we're kind of at the end of our time here, and we're probably going to finish soon. But I highly, highly encourage y'all to go through and try to publish your chatbot. Super, super easy to do. Like they walk through all the different channels that you can do it in here. Like truly what's cool is that these functions where there's these kind of multiple choice answers, just something to keep in mind, that's not a feature of every single chatbot. So like if you build a text messaging bot, like you're not going to be able to pop up like a multiple choice answer. So like keep those things in mind when you're thinking about where you're going to host your bot. But yeah, you can build for Slack. You can build for, oh my gosh, Cortana's in here. You can do a demo website. Twilio is a really great one. But it's pretty easy to get this all spun up. And I'm going to play around.
That's so cool.
I want to do I think we should build the astrology bot. personally. Like
I'm very interested in that.
yeah. So how are you feeling about bots now, or not? Are you pretty
Well,
pumped?
it's so easy. I didn't know it was so easy. Now I feel like I know how to do everything. It literally took 5 seconds.
I really don't want to build bots any other way now. Like truly. I'm kind of obsessed with like just how easy, and I'm really excited to dive into the analytics on this. Looks like
Yeah. I'm also a really visual person, so I love like seeing and building the tree.
yeah.
It's just so fun.
Yeah. It kind of reminds me of this feature in I want to say it's in Twilio. They have like a chatbot service where you can kind of like map out a customer service path of like, okay, escalate a ticket if this happens, or like text them here or send a message here. And I always thought that was really cool because I'm a visual person as well. Like, I think that was a really difficult part of working with something like the Twitter API, or like building out conversations throughout JSON is like, you really kind of get lost in the weeds of your responses
Yeah.
and your code. But I love it. I'm really obsessed. I'm just seeing if there's maybe there's I know with logic apps you can kind of like press a button. Oh, here we go, and see what it looks like. Just, oh no, that's variable watch. But yeah, I'm just like, oh, thanks, Brendan North. Brendan North says, thanks for a great stream. This looks really useful. I'm genuinely really excited for people to play with it because I was giddy when I played with this. I was just like, wait a second, I can just like,
tweet us what you make, please.
yes,
I'm so curious.
pretty please. Any parting body thoughts, serving you body yaddy yaddy on this lovely Tuesday stream. I'm so excited that we're back this week. I missed Beep Boop. I'm glad you got a vacay, but I missed you.
I know. But we'll be back next week.
We will. What are you gonna build? What chatbot are you gonna build with this newfound knowledge, Ornella?
Obviously, it has something to do with Franklin. Let me get back to you, though.
Salami bot for sure.
Yeah. Well, so I always wish that Franklin had like a cell phone, because
okay.
I don't actually want him to like, have the ability to talk, because I think that would be creepy. But I always thought it would be sweet if he could just like text me like what like his needs or like what he wanted or something.
I could see like what if
like a little Franklin bot.
You know how you can do like the answers, like the assumption is that the answer is always yes to Salami. So it's like Salami bot, like built for Franklin. I think I will build that in preparation for next week's stream. I really like that idea.
Olivia says, I promise to always be nice to bots.
Good. Oh, we're so glad. Quick story before we end the stream. I interviewed once for a bot analytics company, and they as a kind of trivia question, they're like, what do you think is the number one thing that people send pictures to bots? And I was like, I don't know. Like, what could it be? And because of the machine learning, so a lot of people send pictures to bots, I found out. But when people take selfies, they take them in the mirror like this, and the selfie images would identify like a phone. So the number one identified object from their API was cell phones, because people like truly just like send vacation pics and stuff to chatbots. Like it's a strange phenomenon that I don't understand, but also kind of understand because I chatted with SmarterChild a lot. But yeah, be nice to bots. Bots are friends, not food. I don't know if that works in that instance. We do not have Franklin to wrap up today. So how should we end today before we play our music?
I think the song speaks for itself,
The saxophone solo speaks for itself. And we'll be back next week, y'all, for the final app of Beep Boop for a little bit. But we do have some exciting future Beep Boop things down the pipeline. So don't worry, the song will be back. We promise. And with that, we'll play our outro, and we'll see y'all next week. Bye, babies.
Bye.